Hey guys, I really feel like I've missed you. I feel like I haven't filmed a video in a while since yesterday I tried. I had such a failed attempt. It was such a rainy day and I was like, no, I just can't do this. It was like dark in here. It was like 11 a.m. It was crazy. So today is Friday. I hope I can get this up today for you guys. I'm doing an empties video. Empties, regrets, products that I'm not loving, kind of a lot. It's just like a big old negative video, no. But a lot of these things are really good. A lot of things that I've used and I've loved. And I always say that when I use something completely, I keep this little, when you see the striped basket come out or the striped little bin come out, you know we're doing empties. But I keep that in there and I just kind of throw things in there as I use them, and then when I do these videos every few months or so, it's a nice way to review things if you've really actually gone through a product. And I realize this is a perfect way to throw in those products that I tried and I didn't really love that are also kind of leaving in the bin or they're going to someone else, you know? So before we get started, I did try a new foundation today. I don't really know. It doesn't have a lot of coverage. I feel like when I first started filming, I turned the camera on. I could tell like it just didn't look like a lot of coverage through here, and I thought maybe I should put something else on, but no, I'm just going to kind of show you guys what it looks like. But here's the thing. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know, because sometimes I really like things that look a bit natural. It's the Naked Skin One and Done by Urban Decay, and I wear the lightest shade in light. When I first used it, a lot of oil came out of it, like not oil, but it just wasn't pigmented, you know what I mean? And so I kind of like did this, I kind of moved it around, shook it a little, and then it took forever for it to come back out again. I thought I had broken it, but then it came back out and it was fine. So if you get this and you think, whoa, this is really kind of like weird and runny, it's not. Just try to like work it up a little before you use it, if that makes sense. But sometimes I like to have something that I can just throw on my makeup free days to make me look a little bit better. But I'll be honest with you, it doesn't look any different than if I weren't wearing makeup. And I did put on concealer, so I feel like this part looks really dead, and then this part's just like, it's kind of like nothing, which I feel like sometimes is a little worse. But I don't know, on a natural, just like makeup free day, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just not wear makeup. Should I use this? I don't know. Does it have SPF? Yeah, it has SPF 20, so that's a good thing. That is a good thing. I love a good like CC cream or a BB cream or something like that. That's kind of what this is. Kind of what this feels like, although it doesn't say it's a BB cream. It just says Hybrid Complexion Perfector, which is essentially what those are. It made my skin feel really good and like matte, almost like a primer. It was very odd. I used it with my fingertips because I thought, you know, if I'm gonna use foundation like mine that I always use, my Clinique Acne Solutions or the Even Better by Clinique, I've been kind of alternating those and I love them. I use those with a Beautyblender, which we're gonna get to in a second because we're gonna cut a Beautyblender open and see if it's really absorbing our foundation, because some people have told me that and I'm like, no, they don't. We're gonna see. So I just like to use my fingertips when I use these, and I just am not sure. What do you guys think about this? Have you used it? It's just a product I'm just not sure about. Okay, so I told you guys all about this one, the swirly one, and I kind of regret getting it just because, I mean, look, I mean, it's not super cute. I think once you use a beauty blender, I mean, especially the swirly one that was white and pink, I mean, you see what I mean? This foundation just looks gross. I mean, it's not a foundation, I get it. It's like a more natural look, but I don't know. I feel like I can just use my other stuff quicker. Okay, let's continue. But it might be good on makeup free days. Okay, so let's continue. But I feel like sometimes just get the pink one, because no matter what color your foundation is, whether it's really light or really dark, it just looks better on the hot pink ones. So when I started filming that video yesterday, the first thing I did was I cut open my beauty blender, my old crappy one that was in this basket, because I was like, I want to show you guys what's inside of it. Should I have a pink one? Should I just waste this one and cut it open? I really hate to. Have you been using it maybe like a month and a half, 2 months? I hate to cut it. Let me just show you this one. So here's well, let me put it back together. So this one was in my bin. It's the one that had that little chunk on the top of it. Do you remember I told you guys it had a little nub and I pulled it off, and so then it started like chunking. So I've been using this one a lot. Every day I wash it, I squeeze it. Well, not every day. Every time I do my foundation, I would use these. So maybe like 3-4 days, maybe like 4 days a week. I don't know. So yeah, I finally put it in the bin because I finally put it in my empties bin because, you know, I bought other ones and you're supposed to replace them every 3 months. I have stretched them out way longer than that, but I'm kind of a Beauty Blender junkie. I tried that new swirly one and I thought, whatever, I'll just go ahead and get rid of it. So someone, when I said in a previous video, just several back, I said Beauty Blenders are great because they don't absorb your product. And you hear sponge, how does that not absorb your product? Well, because they're damp. So you dampen them, you squeeze them out. We all know, hopefully, and I've talked to so many people that are like, I didn't know you're supposed to dampen your Beauty Blender. Yeah, you have to. I mean, you can use it hard, you know, if you want it, but no, you got to. Like, that's just the point. If you're gonna spend $20 for this thing, you need to use it the right way. So, I mean, you can use it for everything. So anyways, yeah, so you dampen it, you squeeze it out, you use it, and when it's damp, it just so when something's damp, it can't really absorb anything else. You know, it's already like saturated, and it's certainly not gonna absorb a lot of thicker foundation. So when she said that, I was like, no, it doesn't absorb it, because that's how I feel about it. I'd never cut one open, I didn't know. But then I thought, well, does it? I don't know, let me cut it open and see. So I took my little eyebrow scissors and I like cut it open, and here's what it looks like on the outside. And this one is actually, I think I cleaned it. You see Beauty Blender, once they get old, you just can't. And yeah, it's still bright pink and pretty on the inside. And I probably use this one for a good, I would say at least a good 3 months. And I mean, nothing. And honestly, like from someone saying, oh, that it doesn't absorb your foundation, I felt like it would look at least a little dirty on the inside just from the water where you clean it. But no, nothing. It's just perfect. So I was really impressed with that. The only place where it looks like a little bit of it is just right at the top. But you gotta think, when you wet them, they expand. So really that's washing out, which that's what the girl said. She was like, you're telling me nothing washes out of your Beauty Blender? It's just like a brush, or just like if you used something like your fingers. I mean, are your fingers absorbing the product? No, but when you wash them, it's gonna come off. So yeah, when you see that little line right there, it's probably just from like where it was so big, you know, when you wet it, because this one obviously isn't wet. And then when it kind of shrinks back down, you know, whatever was on the outside kind of goes into it a little. But I was really impressed with that. Here's what it looks like close up. Pretty cool, huh? So yeah, I'm a Beauty Blender for life. I just love Beauty Blender. But this is a regret, just because I just think sometimes I just rather get the pink, you know? Yeah, this is driving me. I don't know if it looks as bad as I feel it does. Maybe it's just because it's shadowy. I think it does look bad. I think for a makeup-free day, that's great, but honestly, this doesn't look any different from when I don't wear makeup, so I'm like, kind of, what's the point? But it has the SPF in it, I get it. Okay, I'm really sad, because I actually have something that broke this month. This is my GHD straightener. I probably have had this for maybe 7 years, 8 years, probably 8 years, I would say. And I know that's a long time to have something, but I don't use the hell out of this thing. I have naturally straight hair. I just put it back today, because I was like, whatever, I wasn't even into it. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think things should break, especially things that are expensive like a GHD. You know, I don't know. And you plug these in, they're wonderful. They start up in just a few seconds, and you're probably thinking, why the heck does this girl have a straightener? I have naturally straight hair. But when you are a straight hair girl, sometimes like when you sleep, especially if you wash your hair the night before or whatever, if you use dry shampoo and you're skipping a day, if you want your hair to look kind of sleek, I know the light's like changing. If you want your hair to look kind of sleek, you know, you wake up and you might have like little crimps, or it might look like funny, or you just want to kind of plug this in just really quick, just have something you can just bloop and just be super, super fast with. I have a phobia of straighteners. I always feel like they're gonna like fry my hair off, but when I use them, I just use it just to get out little kinks. But it is something that I really like to have. I tried to use my curling iron to fix it when it broke, because honestly, I would say I bust that out maybe every few months. Like, I really don't even need it that often. So the one time I needed it, when I plugged it in, I was so bummed. Like, I tried everything to get it to work, and it just wouldn't. So this is a product I was just not into. It's the Marc Jacobs Undercover, the Coconut Eye Primer. I love their coconut line for the most part, and I was like, this would be nice. This smells like an old sugar, like, you know, like when something goes bad that's sweet? It doesn't have a good smell to it. It's just very weird. And when you rub it in, it kind of looks like a nude color when it comes out, but it becomes kind of, you know, like translucent. So it doesn't really perfect your eye, like it's not going to cover anything, but then it feels really silky, and I thought, perfect. So then when I put my eyeshadow over it, and I just wore like some pretty natural colors, I looked later and I saw like little chunks right there of, like, you know when you don't blend an eye primer, and I thought, oh no, and I reached and I went like that, and it would not come off. It was like glue. I like wet my finger, it would not come off, which is a good thing and a bad thing. And I thought, okay, it's good. My eyeshadow looks good with it, but let me, you know, really just be more careful with it tomorrow. So the next day, I really blended it, and then when I looked up close later, I swear to you guys, it was just little, looked like chunks. So I don't know. And have you ever tried like a mascara that has like a perfumey scent? Like I think it's the YSL ones that have that perfumey scent, and then throughout the day, like as you blink and stuff, you kind of get whiffs of that. Isn't that weird? Like you're smelling, I mean, it's not far away, but like you're smelling your eye stuff. I smelled this during the day, and it just smells like something gone bad, like a old something, you know, like when something gets like sweet, like really sweet and like gross, not sour, but just too sweet and just like caramel, like I don't know how to describe it. It smells like something, and I cannot put my finger on it. So I don't know. This isn't my favorite thing. I would just kind of go for something else. I've tried so many good like eye primery things lately that just was not good for me. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have so much stuff. I'm kind of mixing up because I threw my regrets in here too. So we're gonna just kind of talk about everything mixed in with the empties. A few Monat stuff. Yes, I'm going to post that video. I did film it, my 3-month update. I think it's really interesting. And I'm going to post it, I think, just like midweek or something, just because I know not everybody's into that. But maybe we'll have like a 3-video week or something. But I don't know, if you're interested, and I think it'll be really good. But so I went through my original Renew shampoo. So yeah, I would say like a good 3 months this lasted. And sometimes maybe I use too much, you know, because sometimes I do kind of. And I think especially in the beginning when my hair was feeling so yucky, we'll talk about all that, I was probably using too much. Now they're in a different bottle though, the shampoos are. And then I have one of the dry shampoos, which I already have another. I actually have 2 more of these because they're so good. I love that condition, or that dry shampoo, because you don't have to worry about your scalp. You know, you don't have to worry about it wrecking your scalp because it's actually like made to be good for your scalp. So, yeah, I will link to everything below, all of this stuff that's good, obviously. I feel like sometimes when I do empties videos, like so many links and stuff and so many things to talk about, but I'll just link to the really good stuff. This is really good. This is the Aveeno Positively Smooth Shave Gel. Really, really love that. It doesn't give you like little bumps or anything. I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so this is the Cashmere Body Scrub. And when I first mentioned this, when I first got the oil in this, I love the oil, raved over it. Still, it's like my favorite thing. I use it every single day. It's like life, and I've got my mom hooked on it. It's just so good. And so I bought this originally. This is my second one, and I didn't love it. Like, I felt like it was just kind of thick, like the granules in it, like the chunks were just kind of thick and maybe a little sharp, and I just thought, nah. I was used to the really like pasty, like thick paste one. That was the, what's it called? The Cocoa Rose Scrub by Herbivore. I really love that one. And so then when I used this one, it was just a little different. The oiliness of it felt so good on my skin, but I just didn't love like the consistency of it, and I felt like it was burning my legs. Like, I don't scrub over freshly shaven legs, but when you've shaved your legs and you use a scrub up top or whatever, it will, or like on your back, on your butt, whatever, it will kind of like rinse down, you know what I mean? And I remember it just like lighting my legs on fire. It was like so horrible. But then maybe it was just like using a different shave gel. Maybe something was happening. Maybe, I don't know. So when I first started using that one again a few months back, I started using it, and I was like, wow, the paste of it, or the consistency of it, felt better. It felt like the granules were like more, and they were, maybe it was my imagination before, but I was like, I'm not crazy. Like, what, this is different. Like, it feels good. I don't think they've changed it, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't into that first one for whatever reason, but it makes your skin feel so good when you rinse it. It's just so nice. It smells amazing. I can't explain the smell of this stuff. It's like tropical, pineapple-y coconut, but vanilla, but not obnoxious, because I don't like tropical scented things usually on my body, but it's not like that. It just smells like sweet, sugary candy, just yumminess, especially the oil. But anyways, so yeah, I used it again, and I thought, it's not making my legs burn, so I actually put it on my legs, and it didn't make them burn. So I don't know. All I can say is I really like it now. They were doing, and the reason I repurchased it, which I probably never would have, is because they were doing a buy one get one free when I went to repurchase my oil. So now I have another one that's in there that I'm using. So, I have the Cleanse Extend Sheer Blossom Dry Shampoo. These are the ones that I used to love, the ones that I used to just like absolutely swear by. I keep looking at my skin because I'm like, I'm just trying to figure this out. I know it's not like a really full coverage foundation, but whatever. I'm so funny about it. Okay. This is what I was using when I first started using the Monat, and when I got the dry shampoo by Monat, I was like, great, now I'm gonna have to use, you know, do you have to use all these products? Like, I hated to stop using the things that I loved. I was like, their products are not gonna be any better. I just don't think it's gonna be any better. I don't know if this is gonna work. And then I used this like the first, I would say, week or two when I was using this the shampoo, and I started feeling how good it was making my scalp feel, and then I felt bad about you. I was like, should I just be using their dry shampoo? So then when I used the dry shampoo, I fell in love with it, and that was kind of it. So that's like all I use now. The Modern Renaissance palette, you guys, I don't know. I've tried so hard. I just can't, I just don't know. I just can't make it work. And it's not that, like, I like these colors. I like the reds. I like kind of the pinky cranberry reds, the purpley color. I don't know. Like, I like the kind of warm orangey like tans. But these natural colors over here just don't do anything for me. The tone of them are just a little off, especially this one's a little yellowy green. These two just don't blend well. I just don't know, and I just kept trying to make it work, and I was like, why am I doing this? Those Marc Jacobs ones that I got that I really recently showed in my favorites are so good, you guys. And there's a lot of those that have those same tones. They're like buttery, they blend really nice. I just don't really like that one, and it sucks because I usually love Anastasia stuff. I have so many skincare things. I literally think I have my entire skincare routine. Oh, I have two of these, yeah. So funny, I don't have my Murad wash, but okay, so I have my my makeup remover, which is the Boscia Makeup Breakup Cleansing Oil. I've already repurchased one of these. I love this. Sometimes when I'm not wearing makeup, because I have been doing that a lot more since my skin's been nice the last several months, I haven't really been wearing makeup a lot. I don't always wear foundation, and even on those days, like, I'll find myself just using the oil and putting it on. It's like a pre-cleansing thing, so you cleanse your skin first. It's like a makeup remover, you know. I just don't know how people don't use a makeup remover. If you just go in with your cleanser, it's almost like a waste of your cleanser. You know what I mean? Like, I want my cleanser to just go on like fresh skin so my skin can really get, you know. And you end up wasting your really nice cleanser because you probably have to use more of it. And you can't really get it around your eyes. And I don't like using a million different products. This you can use everywhere. So I just put it on dry, put it all over, and then I rinse it off, and then I just wash my face. At night, I use this. It's the Lancer Method Polish Blemish Control. They have one for sensitive skin. They have a regular version. This Blemish Control one, though, really seems to work for me. I love it so much. It is the best scrub on earth. Some people are like, oh my gosh, that scrub is really intense. It's very like, you can't even see the granules. They're so small. It's like a paste. It's almost like, I want to say like a toothpaste. It's so weird. And when you put it on your skin, you don't scrub it like a scrub. You literally just glide it over your skin. So, I mean, I don't know, my skin I feel like has changed so much. It looks so young. Like, I feel like I don't have any of these like weird lines anymore. I feel like my skin was looking so weird and kind of thick before. And with all these things, it just looks like young and plump and healthy. It feels better, like more moisturized. I have a moisturizer in there. I think that's like on its last leg. It's my Clinique one, my Moisture Surge. I probably have like 2 more uses out of it. I'll just throw it into my next one, I guess. It almost made this one. And then at night, I use these at night only. In the morning, I use a different cleanser. The Peter Thomas Roth Max Complexion Correction Pads. These are wonderful. The reason I use this is because it's a 10% glycolic acid, which is so good when... It's good for, I think, for anyone. A lot of people may not like it. People are so funny about like, oh, it has alcohol in it, I can't use it, it's gonna make your skin look old. My skin looked horrible before, and it looks younger than ever, and I'll just be honest with you, I would much rather use something that's taking care of my skin, it's keeping my pores small, than be using something that doesn't have alcohol in it, or something that's like super, whatever, I don't know. And like wrecking your skin with like clogged pores and blemishes and stuff. That's even worse. I would much, no, like, so, I don't know, that's so good. I have 2 of these, the Kate Somerville Anti-Bac. I use these morning and night. Right after I cleanse in the morning, I put this on, then I put on my moisturizer or whatever. At night, I use this and then these, but. So 2 of those, and one of them I just actually ran out. So, I have a empty perfume, which is kind of rare, not really rare, but I went through this Gypsy Water so fast, and you know, it's not even a perfume that I would say, oh my gosh, it's wonderful. It is good. It smells like, it has a hint of something in it that smells like Jessica Simpson Fancy Love mixed with straight up lemon. It is so lemony, and that's, sometimes I think, oh, it's fresh, it's cute, you know, I like it. It is a very, very hyped up perfume, but I'll be honest with you, I like the Byredo scents. They're very unique. They do have some unique ones. But do they though? I don't know, because this one smells like, You know, it smells like lemon. It smells like straight up lemon, like Dolce & Gabbana light blue. I don't know though. I don't know honestly which one smells better. I haven't smelled like light blue in a long time, but I know it smells like lemon. And then the Mojave Ghost one that I have like this, I used it and I loved it and I fell in love with it. And then I realized this smells just like Marc Jacobs Daisy, but better. It has a better, like less sharp scent, which is my only complaint with Marc Jacobs Daisies. Sometimes it smells a little sharp. I really like the Blanche or whatever. But yeah, this one's just weird. And you know what? Here's the thing. It's empty, so I'll kind of show you. When I put it on, I would do this. I'd be like, all right, just like tiny little like, because it didn't smell like anything. Like you would put it on and an hour later it would be gone. I remember my friend first got it. She was like, smell it. I was like, oh, that smells nice. And you could just barely smell it. It was good. But it's just a light scent, you know what I mean? It smells good, but you have to, I personally feel, some people may totally disagree with me, I feel like you have to drown yourself in it. I mean, you just have to bathe in this stuff to smell it. Okay. Okay, so much. All right, so the Beautyblender Blender Cleanser Solid. I love this. That's the only thing that I really enjoy cleaning my brushes and my sponges with. I mean, it gets foundation out of a sponge and out of a brush like nothing else. You can wash your brush with something else and think it's clean and it's like coming out clear and everything's good. And then you can use that and it's just like tons of foundation pours out of it. So there's something to that. I really think that's a good product. I think more companies should do solid cleansers. But not really, I don't know, why would they? Beauty blenders, I hate it when it's just like, you know, I mean, why just like copy a million things? But there's also another one that people always recommend called Dr. Bronner's. I haven't tried that one yet, maybe I will, but I just always repurchase that one because I know it works. This I'm a little, I have some, oh, okay, I have another bad thing. But this is so, okay. You guys, this Louboutin mascara, it's kind of like a love-hate thing for me because when I first got it, it was amazing. I did a video on it. I think it was called like my most shameful beauty purchase or something. You guys remember how dramatic, how crazy it made my lashes. I've worn it a ton over the past several months, and you know, it's an expensive item, but with expensive makeup, I always say makeup goes bad, tear into it, just use it, use the heck out of it, and I use it pretty much every day. It is so heavy. This is a brass container. I mean, the packaging's insane, and I get it, you're paying for that, and would I repurchase it? I feel like the product is so good that yes, I would feel like, wow, this is a great mascara, but it's expensive. I know I just said things like, oh, you're paying for the packaging. So do you see what I mean? It's just kind of like, I don't know. But oh my gosh, you guys, it does make your lashes look insane. But that Sephora stuff that I've been using lately, this Sephora Lash Craft Volume, I will link to that below. It is so good, you guys. That is probably one of the best mascaras I've used in a long time. I've got some good ones though right now. I've opened a lot of them, which is usually not what I like to do, so it kind of makes me itch every time I look in my makeup drawer and I'm like, I've got all this mascara, whereas used to it was just this one, and I was like, yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. So it got to the point where it was, here's the thing, here's another thing, it was really good, right? It was really good for like a month and a half, 2 months, and I would use it just all the time. Then it got to where it was like, you really had to work with it a lot, you know what I mean? And to the point where now it's just totally dried out, and if I were to use, well, not totally, I mean, if I were to use it, I'd probably a little bit out, but I would literally have to sit here forever using it, and I wouldn't get a very good result. And it got to where, like, when I would pull it out, big chunks would come out. Have you ever had that, like, where, like, big ringy chunks would come out? That's why it looks clean, because I just, like, peeled a huge one off. Do you know what I mean? I hate it when mascaras do that, but this one's very good if you're looking to splurge on something, and it's a good product. That one is good. You see what I mean? Hate to repurchase it just because it's so expensive, but it is a good product. I have a Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Love this. I actually have a new one in there, but I haven't opened it yet. That's a good one. It's fluttery, it's volumizing. Some ones are better than others. You know, have you guys ever bought that? Like you buy something or you repurchase it and you're like, this one isn't as good as the last one. That mascara is really, I hate to say, but it can be very inconsistent. Oh gosh, 2 more mascaras. Okay, this is one that I actually tried and did not like. This is brand new. It's the Urban Decay Troublemaker. And let me put down these other ones. You'll see what I mean, okay? You guys, when you use a plasticky mascara, right? One that has like a plasticky brush that's spiky, like think about the CoverGirl Lash Blast, or a lot of them have that rubbery, or the plasticky bristles, do you know what I mean? And when you do mascara, you get the brush really close, you know, to your waterline, right? You know, you get it in there and you wiggle it at the roots. Have you ever had it where like it pokes you just the wrong way on your waterline and you're like, oh, it's like the worst pain ever, and you're like, then you like are squeezing your eye and you're like messing everything up? Okay, when I opened this up, I was like I had this feeling of this looks scary. Let me show you what this looks like. Okay, do you see? Can you see the little bristles? Like how long, like you see that clump one at the end? Like on the tip, like you see how long those are? So this has some really long, like impaling spikes. You see like those on the tip? I mean, it's really long, right? And there's not like a lot in between. It's not like a lot of them. Like the CoverGirl Lash Blast is full of them and they're shorter. These are very long and like spread out. It's supposed to be like a really dramatic, like volumizing mascara, and I'm sure the mascara itself is nice, and I hate to not use it, but all I thought about when I first saw this was, oh my gosh, this looks scary. And then when I used it, I was being really careful. I thought, oh, I can't get this too close to my waterline, you know, and I was being careful and it poked, and I was like, oh my gosh, like how are you supposed to use this? So I don't know, it's really pokey. So I just don't really love that brush. I wish it was like one that had short, fat, little bristles, because I feel like the formula is really good. It was just hard to make them look good because it would separate them so much. I like one that's gonna be really like crazy dramatic. Like, okay, here's the thing. This one, the Louboutin, perfect example. That's why this one looks so crazy. See, they're plasticky bristles, but you see how they're short and they're just a lot of them. So yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot about this. Speaking of makeup sponges, really weird. Okay, so I tried this. There's all these, are there a lot of different ones? I don't know. I know there's like a few brands that like just make these silicone sponges or whatever, but Smashbox has one, and I got this like brush kit thing, and this was in there, and I was like, what? So what really stood out to me was that it looks like a finger. Like it looks like fingerprint. Like, do you see how it has those little things on it? Like it looks like a fingerprint. It feels like a finger. It's very weird. But these are kind of like, okay, a lot of brands did this, you know, in the answer to a beauty blender, which how weird is that? I just showed you guys that this is funny. It's all coming together. But they say like, oh, why use a sponge when if you use something that's silicone, it won't absorb your product? Well, we've seen that a beauty blender doesn't absorb your product. And, you know, this will feel like your finger. Well, I'm thinking, why not just use your finger? My finger feels softer. This feels like kind of hard. So that was my thing. And then a beauty blender too, when you wet it, it just feels so bouncy and you can just go nuts. It makes your finish look like, even the most matte foundation, it will make it look glowy and pretty. Okay, I know. I mean, it's like a beauty blender freaking infomercial all the time here when I mention them. But I thought maybe there's something to this. It feels really good. Let's try it. So, I mean, I will say it feels very like quality and good. So when I used it, you know, I just put my foundation just a tiny bit and I just started, and it was very weird. It was like it hurt, you know, like it just feels kind of like weird when you touch it, and not like that it hurts, but when you're like pressing it in, it's not blending like a beauty blender kind of blends as you press. This was just kind of stamping it on, and I felt like I had to like really rub it, and I felt like I was just smearing it around. It was just very strange. It's just a very strange, it's a very strange feel, but it made my skin look so full coverage. To me, it was too much. I felt like it was just a bit cakey, and I used less product, and it just was like, what's weird is I used the same amount, if not less, product than I normally use, and just as much was on here. Like when I rinsed it off, I've washed it twice, and the last time I used it, I didn't wash it, but it, like, you know, the foundation comes off of it just like it does a beauty, but it's just very weird. So I don't know, how do you guys feel about these? What is this a thing? Like, are you guys really into these newish thing? Is this a new thing? Like, is this something that's gonna, I don't know, it's very strange. Maybe if you were like a professional or something, you could really clean that better. Yes, you could probably really disinfect that a lot better. It might give a better, like, more full finish. I don't know, it was very weird to get used to. The Donna Karan Casper Mist Deodorant, love. I have a new one of those. This was very strange. So you guys may remember in a few videos ago, well, probably several ago, I mentioned the new Ardell mascaras. And they have one called Wispies, like their lashes. It has little fibers in it. It's beautiful. I need to use that more. See, I've got too many mascaras open and it's freaking me out because they go bad. And you just, okay, whatever. it's really good. The one that says Wispies is really good. So then I was excited about this one that says Double Up. I'm really kind of not into these that have like the double thing where you can pull one out of this end and then you can then, you know, one out of this one. I think MAC was the first one that I ever saw like that. But here's the problem. So it's supposed to be like really like double up, like really, you know, volumizing. This side, the little one, usually I would think it'd be like a very small brush. It's like a normal big size mascara wand, and this is pretty when you use it. It's just like a typical mascara. I wouldn't say anything groundbreaking. It's pretty. It makes your lashes look pretty. Volumizing, you know, whatever, but a lot of things do. But then I thought, oh, cool. So you open this one, and this one, like, pulls out so much goop. Like, there's no resistance. And I thought, is it broken? Have you ever had that where, like, sometimes the little ring comes out, and it just pulls out, like, the big glob? That's what this feels like all the time. Like, look at that. And I thought, okay, I'll wipe it off. But even if you do that, then the top of it's gross. And when you put it back in, it squeezes out. I tried to do it, and I thought, well, maybe the goopiness is good. Because I have said before, I like a little bit of goop that comes out, you know. This is just a lot of goop. It's a lot of goop. So I just, if it was just slightly, you know, I don't know, if it was a little more wipey-offy, if it would just wipe off a little better. This I finally was just like, I'm kind of over it. There's just a tiny bit in the bottom, maybe a little more than a tiny, maybe like less than a quarter. I don't know, and I'm sure I could really get it out, but I kind of just got grossed out by it. I use it before bed. It's the By Terry Balm de Rose Lip Balm. These are expensive, and I remember I bought this a long time ago. I was like, let me see if this is, you know, worth the hype. I mean, is it hyped? I don't know, but it's one of those things that you always see in magazines. It's like the By Terry Balm de Rose, and I thought, I wish I would have just gotten it in a jar. Sometimes I like those better, you know, for nighttime. And this is just very goopy. It's just a goopy lip gloss, but it is pretty. I mean, it looks pretty on your lips. It's got a really perfect applicator. It smells like, you know, like kind of a rose bath product or a rose candle, and I love, love, love rose things. But it's kind of like that fakey rose scent. Not bad. But I don't know. It's just very weird. It's just a little weird. But anyways, I'm just very funny about lip glosses. I used a lot of it, though. Once they get kind of old, like a year, it's gross. I mean, even if it's just you, like I don't share lip stuff, but even if it's just you, it's like, it's gross that you're just putting it and dipping it as like lip stuff. And it's like, so I don't know, lip glosses, I really just try to reel in my collection and keep it kind of under control. And that's it. I think that's it, you guys. So those were all my things that haven't been working, things that I didn't really love, kind of some regretty type things, but also some really good things that I used up. So I think it's kind of a cool way to show it, just everything that's kind of like leaving. But I will tell you, we've got so many things coming up, you guys. I cannot wait to share details about the closet with you guys. The design of it's insane. It's gonna be so, so cool. I've like never seen anything like it. It's so cool. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will link to all the good things below, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.